Andrea, benvenuto. Welcome to Toronto and congratulations.
Thank you very much to you and to all the fans of Toronto FC. For me, I'm very proud. I'm very happy because it's an iconic moment not only for Toronto but for all the MLS and the North American soccer.
Andrea, let's talk about this historic day for this Italian young man and history made in Toronto and MLS. When did this all begin? When did the discussions begin with you and TFC?
So it began early in January. So we had a quick talk in London, and so but because my idea was, I had a sense, a feeling, a special feeling, because I knew the reality of Toronto FC, of Maple Leafs sport and entertainment, and so I'm sure that the future of football, European football, is soccer, is North American, and I wanted to find a good project for this super talent one that she wasn't so happy in Italy because she couldn't play continuously. So I went to the people of Toronto FC and they just explained my idea, and they were so quick, so fast, so everything went so fast, and so it's fantastic.
Andrea, what
we met again. We met again in one time in Torino with Team Bezbachenko, and I came in Toronto for a quick meeting with Team Bezbachenko, Lewicki, and Tom Pistore. Great vision, great moment, and so that's all.
Andrea, what convinced Giovinco that Toronto is the right place for him and his family? What was the deciding factor for Giovinco to say, Andrea, yes, I want Toronto, I want TFC to be my next home?
Many things, because he trusts a lot. He trusts me a lot. So I have a special feeling for 25 years of my career with every one of my players. So they all know very well that I'm looking for the best for them. And so when I was talking about Toronto, and when I explained what I checked in Toronto about the project of the Toronto FC, about the project of MLS, about the Kia Center, the training center, the stadium, the project on the stadium, the project of MLS. So he was so happy. And when I explained that a 6 million people town, wonderful town, but with beautiful, very supreme in nature, with a huge Italian community, almost of 600, 700,000 people. So she was crazy because the father is coming from Palermo, the mother is coming from Catanzaro Lido, it's in Calabria. So, and she grew up in Torino, and she was so, I think so she was so enthusiastic, so happy, and immediately we find the agreement with Toronto FC and the people working for Maple Leafs.
Andrea, talk about Giovinco, and if he's had an opportunity to watch any of TFC MLS. Has he watched any of the games?
I think he did it after I explained everything about this opportunity, because he's very fast, not only on the pitch, but outside. He's fantastic because he's a so positive guy, so humble, and normal at the same time. I think he's perfect. So he did on computer, and he took a view of everything regarding TFC and of course the Maple Leafs sports entertainment. So he loves also NBA. So she was so happy to change. For me, it's so how you mean? Is an important moment of his career, because he is 27, so he's not going in MLS because he is at the end of a career. He wanted to show his best, and in my opinion, as I explained to him, MLS did some steps in his story. So first was the important player at the end of the career. Second step was to take back the important American players, okay, for the fans, for supporters, getting bigger the stadium. So my idea was, now it's time to sign an important player, very talented, a playmaker, a forward player, so people can enjoy seeing football and soccer, as you call, and so it's important. If you can check, so in Italy it's 3 days. They are in every media, in websites, in TV, radio, newspaper. You can find a lot of information, a lot of talks on MLS. So it's a very big return on investment for just one thing.
So Andrea, what does this do now for young Italian players or young players in Europe now that maybe weren't sure about coming to MLS? How important is this signing by TFC with Giovinco, opening the door for other young players that now see what has taken place with Giovinco, for them to come here?
It's a symbol. So they understood that there is a new market, there is a new development, and they feel that the future is North America. So it's because you can find people, supporters, beautiful towns, organization, fantastic facilities, stadium, training center. This is the future. Because here in Europe, we have a huge story, a big story, but so we have stadium in Italy, especially in Italy, no good. So now, in my opinion, it's the moment that the young people in football were waiting for. So they understood, if Giovinco, who is a very talented one, can go now, okay, I understand. This is the new way to go.
Andrea, let me ask you this. How important is it that Giovinco involves himself in the community of Toronto with the young kids, to give back, to help, to let them be a part of this experience? Is he going to get involved in the community with the young kids?
Yes, of course. Of course, he loves kids. He also is a father of a 1 year and a half baby, Jacopo. It's the name of a son, of Giovinco's son, and he's very happy to meet the Italian community and the young kids in Toronto and the area playing soccer. I think it's not only Toronto. I think it could be a icon also for Canada all.
Absolutely. Andrea, some people in Italy are saying that they are concerned now that Giovinco will not be considered for the national team under Antonio Conte. Is he concerned about that?
No problem. Because if you study the case history, the Giovinco case history, you can understand easy that he was the top player in every age of his career. Since he was very young, he played so well in Juventus young team, in national team under 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. So the under 21 of Italy, I remember, I think it was, I don't remember exactly the year, but when they played in semi-final of the European Cup in Denmark against Germany, for example, in the Italy was where Balotelli, Giovinco, Criscito, Bocchetti, Motta, a lot of important players. You know what's happened? So in Italy, they want to wait. They sign a lot of foreigners players, so these players had not the possibility to show their skills. Think about the German. Everyone were immediately in the national one at the top, and now they won this year the World Cup in Brazil. So the goalkeeper and the attacker, the midfielder, the defender. So it's a different strategy. Here in Italy, when you are young, you are too young. When you are short, you are too short. When you are old, you are too old. So, so it's how do you say? It's never the right time. Okay. So the old Latins said, "Nemo profeta in patria." In Italian, nessuno è profeta in patria. It's better to come from abroad, and you are superstar. If you grew up in Italy, we never consider you as a talent, as a superstar. So the problem is that Giovinco, in the last 2 years, had not the possibility to play continuously, okay? But every time he played, fantastic. So, for example, last game against Verona, so he was the best in the team. The vote was 7.58. It means the maximum in the Italian style, okay? But if he has not the possibility to play continuously, he wanted a project. So someone now says, "Oh, it's for a big deal, it's for money." No, it's not important the money. We were looking for a good project, and we think that Toronto Football Club is a good project for him.
Andrea, as you mentioned, here in the city of Toronto, there is a massive population of Italian people, lots of Juventus fans here in Toronto. This is the most important signing of an Italian player in the history of North American soccer. Many people here, Andrea, remember Roberto Bettiga, another former national team player. He played in Toronto. How important is it that Giovinco helps this team get to its first playoffs in the history of the club?
It's very important. I remember when Roberto, a big player, super player in Juventus, played in Toronto Blizzard. I think the name was this one, okay? Now, it was a different time with the same charisma, but so the time was not right for the professional football. Now, there is the right time. So, there is a huge Italian community and Giovinco looks forward to meet the community, to speak with the people, to be an icon for all of them, playing in fantastic way on the pitch and behaving in good way outside the pitch. Because sometimes you can find good player on the pitch, but bad behaving outside. No good.